4. Welcome, everybody. This is episode number 1. The Himmelgod has spoken. I am Brian Himmelfarb, aka the Himmelgod, coined by the wonderful Ken from the Foul Mounts Network. Thank you guys for joining me for this, what could be the most epic episode of all time, or the most epic train wreck since Tommy NC 2010. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, big shout out to Elias. Elias hanging out in the chat. We're going to have quite a bit to talk about here today on the first ever episode. No fancy music, no fancy sideshows. I was going to go ahead and start playing a game during the pre-show. Ran into some issues with some lag, and that might hold back the gameplay portion. But in future episodes, I plan on probably having them recorded with gameplay attached on it. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. That's the only problem, is sometimes going live. But thank you for everyone that's over here on Twitch right now. Make sure you guys hit that follow on Twitch. I greatly appreciate it. For anybody, of course, that is watching on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit the bell, lets you know when anything is coming on, when I'm going to go ahead and be live, hanging out with you guys. And I'm very grateful, by the way, for you to be a part of the show tonight. So before I get into all the stuff I want to talk about tonight, let's go ahead and get into the plugging part of things, and kind of get everybody mentioned that I want to go ahead and mention here tonight. First off, I want to give a big shout out to some of the people who I do listen to that helped inspire this idea to go ahead and do a podcast. So big shout out number 1 to Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin Show, make sure you guys tune in for that. Of course, every Friday night, Monetize This. I'm going to get into Monetize This from this past week, and I'm not just talking about Minnesota Vikings fan, but I want to talk about the donation I made there last week, which I'll go ahead and talk about as I was making my way back from Wisconsin back to Florida, which tonight I'll be talking about Wisconsin experience. But make sure you guys follow Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin Show. Monetize This, of course, Friday night. You can also follow Joe on Twitter as well. I probably will have that in the description, so you guys will be able to go ahead and check that out. Also, big shout out to Ken, Foulmouth Ken, from the Foul Mounts Network. Make sure you go ahead and follow Ken. He's had a strike on his channel, on the YouTube channel, but you can go ahead to FMN Nation, so that way you can get all the latest from Ken. He had a show last night, Foul Mouths Live. It was very good. He had a little meltdown moment with Joe, but I think was probably a work. And I got to see that take place last night. I know I talked to him today where he was talking about that moment. And I said, dude, that was probably one of the best moments of the show. Just hearing him have that meltdown moment with Joe, which I thought was pretty damn cool. Also, big shout out, of course, to Justin Bailey and the JBShow.net. He's got JB Radio up there, which is pretty freaking awesome. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, make sure you guys go ahead and check out JB Radio. It's really badass. A lot of great episodes on there. He's got a great crew all set up, running shows on there, and who knows, maybe one day, maybe the Himmelgod will show up there and maybe do the Himmelgod Has Spoken as these episodes get even better down the road. I was going to rep tonight with Foul Mount Network on some t-shirts, and for any of you guys who are following me on Twitter at highoctane_buzz, which, by the way, I will put in the description so you guys can go ahead and hit that follow button. I ordered some new shirts lately. By the way, speaking of shirts, since I got it here with me right now, I'm going to put this up on the camera and check out if you can see this whole thing. This is the Himmelgod shirt, by the way, now available at teespring.com. Go over to Foul Mounts Network. I do have a link right up on my Twitter page where you guys can go there and click on that link. It'll take you right to the Himmelgod shirt, which is still on sale right now. Of course, you can get it in a t-shirt, which is basically the way I get it, especially when you're in Florida. I mean, let's face it, you're not going to wear hoodies in Florida, but for those of you guys up in the north, where it's a little cold, and maybe you guys want to get that hoodie, go get yourself a nice Himmelgod hoodie, and you can wear that all around town. Hell, I'd greatly appreciate that. Or maybe you just want to go ahead and wake up in the morning, to a cup of Himmelgod on a mug. So if you guys want to go ahead and wake up to that morning, maybe with a t-shirt, or maybe you want to sleep in that hoodie, or go ahead and get yourself a Himmelgod mug. Have a little Himmelgod in your cup every single day. That would be awesome. Go ahead and check that out there. Of course, other great shirts you can also get. I'll show off another one here. Ken's getting all the love here tonight. Let me tell you what, Foulmouth Ken getting all the love. Another latest shirt here, the Foulmouths Network here with the skyline. So this is also something that was really cool. I picked up, and of course we flip around the back. Let me tell you something, Nickel. Right there on the back of the shirt, the latest Nickel shirt. Really awesome. Definitely go ahead and pick that up. And then one more I picked up here. These are all brand new, by the way, and now available. All right, come on, MK Ultraman. We got the MK Ultraman as well. I thought that was really cool. Get some extra shirts for my dog. Probably decides to go ahead and sleep on them. Which I'm surprised he would probably end up doing that. That would be something that he would do. But make sure you guys check out all the cool stuff at teespring.com. Joe Cronin has Teespring as well. Same thing with Ken. And you can check out all the cool gear that you guys can buy over there at Teespring. So make sure you guys head over there, support these guys, support Teespring. I know sometimes some people have been complaining that the prices might be a little bit too high, and sometimes I'll be honest, I do agree sometimes that the prices are a little bit too high, but that's kind of how it is, and you know, that's kind of the way things go. It's a business, and that's how all businesses are run, but I'm pretty sure we can all find better ways in which to get product out there. So you guys can check all that out. Teespring.com. Make sure you guys head over there. Help support all these great shows. Speaking of shows, Monetize this Friday night. Make sure you guys check out Monetize this Friday night on Joe Cronin's channel. It's going to be a lot of fun because we do have a champion in Foulmouth Ken, who's taking his second title reign right now, and is looking to maybe successfully defend the title, which, by the way, has not happened. No one has actually successfully defended that belt. No one has. It's always kind of been someone different. Ken was the first to win it, which is always a great honor. The second one eventually going to Leah, and now going back to Ken. So Ken holds the belt right now. I don't know if he even has it, because supposedly he was going to have it on Wednesday night during Foulmouth's Live. That did not happen. I didn't see the belt. So it makes me wonder if he had it, or Joe hasn't sent it yet, or maybe he's trying to come on it. I mean, who knows? You know, whatever he's doing with that belt. God forbid, I think I really want to know what he's doing with that belt. But hopefully we'll get to see the belt tomorrow night on the show. Joe Cronin, of course, has already qualified his way in, and now we're trying to find out who else is going to be in this triple threat match. The first, basically, qualifier takes place tomorrow. I know someone on Twitter was saying, "Oh, we're going to find out who it is tomorrow." No. It's a qualifier. Someone's going to have to win, I think, 2 out of 3. So we've seen some pretty interesting stuff. Who knows? You guys can vote, of course, for Leah. You can vote for Justin Bailey. Hopefully Bailey will be there tomorrow, unless he has to work again. You can, of course, vote for Troy, or Todd, or whatever else he wants to be called. You can even vote for, oh my god, I'm going to say it, Tommy. You could vote for Tommy if you want. Tommy NC 2010. Make sure, if you guys want to check out his channel, Tommy NC 2010, you can vote for him. Although I think a lot of people might go the more negative route for Tommy. And who knows, maybe even Foulmouth Gamer, or sorry, Filthy Mouth Gamer. I said Foulmouth Gamer. But Filthy Mouth Gamer could be a strong possibility. Or maybe even Foulmouth Bobbit. Bobbit was getting a lot of points last week on the show. I was really enjoying that, and hopefully we get to see Foulmouth Bobbit. Maybe make a win and bob them titties over there on the show. I love when they say that. It's like, bob them titties, baby. That's basically Foulmouth Bobbit. Or maybe, you know what? How about this? Vote for the Himmelgod. Vote for the Himmelgod. Give some points to me. Here's what I'm saying. Give some points to me. I'm not going to beg you guys, because it's not my thing. I'm not going to beg. But if you guys want to throw some points out there for the Himmelgod, it's happened before. Hell, we could do it again. We could do it again, have the Himmelgod get some points, and take this thing. What if I took the belt? Let's just take that into consideration. What if I took the belt? If I ended up taking that belt, holy shit, what would I do with it? Number one, I probably wouldn't come all over it, you know? But, dude, I would take it everywhere. That's what I'm waiting for. Someone to take that belt freaking everywhere. I know Ken says when he gets the belt, he's going to take it everywhere. And I want to see that. Now, of course, if I had the belt and I got to take it everywhere, I would probably have my own special introduction everywhere I go. Letting people know the champ is here. That's exactly what I would do. I'd have my own special introduction. If I could get Elias down here to go ahead and do that, that would actually be really cool. He'd be running around going, the champ is here! You know, that actually would be pretty damn funny. Or I could probably get my nephew to do it. I think that would be fucking hilarious to run around. By the way, NSFW, folks, the 730 words are definitely coming out in this show, and I don't give a shit. Okay, that's how I roll. But imagine that, running into a supermarket. Like if I ran into a Publix, I just walk in and I'm like, the champ is here! I'm walking in with that monetized this belt around my shoulder. It'd be fucking hilarious. All the old people would be like, George, what is he doing? I have no understanding of what he's doing. I don't know, mister. I don't know. That's pretty much how Florida people are down here. They're just weird sometimes. It's just something I can't get over the fact that they do. But it happens. It's kind of just how it is. But yeah, I would do that. Hell, I tell you what, I would go to Disney World with this thing. Disney World, Universal Studios, whatever it is, I would show up with that belt. I'd come in with that belt. They'd probably have trouble with me getting through security. What is that, sir? And I'd be like, hey, man, that's my championship belt, baby. And I'm parading this everywhere, especially at Disney World. I would go to the Mickey Mouse and say, give me my float, all right? I want a float that goes down Main Street with that belt. I would do that. And it'd give me a microphone so I could sit there and just cut a nasty promo going down Main Street, USA with the belt. That would be absolutely awesome to do that. Would it ever happen? Who knows? Because you guys got to go ahead and vote that. If you guys sat and vote that, I would be absolutely laughing my ass off. And who knows? Maybe I would run into someone at the park and be like, holy shit, it's the Himmelgod. Oh, dude, this is so awesome. And he's got the belt. You know how awesome that would be? I already got noticed by a few people, especially at my work, when I was working up in Wisconsin, which I'll talk a little bit about my Wisconsin experience here on the show, where I was up there for about a year and a half. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that went on there. And even some people recognize me as the Himmelgod. It's actually pretty damn funny when I'm sitting there at work, and we got some fans of the Joe Cronin show, as well as Foulmouth Ken, who sat there and recognized me by name. It was actually really funny when someone on the line would go, what's up, Himmelgod? And I'll be like, oh shit, it actually came over towards work too. You know, we could have Tommy NC 2010 running around going, don't besmirch God! I'm going to sit there and be like, dude, it's a fucking character, get over it. Hey, it's the only show where Tommy can't even infect it. Because I don't do phone calls right now. And that'll be down the road where we'll start doing phone calls and all sorts of crazy shit. And really have some fun and just do some crazy stuff on here for a Thursday show whenever I decide to always make it a habit of going live. Or make it a habit of going live during live streams here on Twitch. You're going to see a lot of stuff here on Twitch. Going to be doing a lot of live streams on gaming. And eventually a lot of stuff that's going to get recorded over onto YouTube of specific video games and stuff like that. I'm a gamer, dude. I love that shit. It's what I do. I grew up on it since I was a kid, so it's just a part of me. So you're going to see it with Xbox, which is what I'm on tonight, the Xbox One. Xbox One X, I might as well just go ahead and throw it out there. Yeah, I got it all the way. PS4 with the PS4 Pro, and of course Nintendo Switch. And we're going to have a lot of recorded gameplay. A lot of the podcasts that I will do are also going to be recorded with gameplay overlay, which I probably mentioned earlier. But we spend a lot of time sitting here plugging stuff. Plugging a lot of stuff. Speaking of things I want to get into is monetize this. Last week, I thought was very interesting. I'll monetize this. As I was driving home. I was driving home from Wisconsin. As I said, I'll bring in the whole Wisconsin experience in a little bit here. But I was driving home from Wisconsin. And I was probably driving around close to Louisville in Kentucky that night when I had monetized this on. It finally came up on the air. Started listening to the show. And figuring out how everything was going to go. How the belt was going to go.
And this was, I thought, a very interesting situation. You know, where are things going to go with the Monetize This Championship, and what kind of match they were going to set up. We knew Ken was already getting his belt. We found out it was going to be a triple threat match. But I thought what the most interesting thing was, very interesting thing, was about Leah's points. The $1,000 donation that came from D Moon the week before, which I thought was really interesting. It came in late. Let's just face it. The Himmelgod has influence over everything. Everything. Okay? Just the thought that I would be there, even though I wasn't on the episode, but just the thought to make someone feel like that I was there, made D Moon's donation carry over past the buzzer. That's how great I am. D Moon, let's just face it, brother. He sits there and says he's got unfinished business with me. But dude, I buried you once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. There's no unfinished business, bro. I finished you. I moved on. Somehow I feel like the war between D Moon and myself will probably go on forever. Not but love to D Moon though. He's a great guy. Great guy. He's awesome. He's a really cool dude. I got a chance to check out some of his live streams. Great guy. Love D Moon. I don't know if he's still live streaming now, but hopefully he does. And I've seen him on PUBG a few nights, which is really cool. Maybe we'll do some PUBG with D Moon and everybody on a later date. So that would be awesome. But anyway, during the show, there was the factor about Leah's points, and I thought this was very interesting. And they ran a poll about the point situation to give Leah the 1,000 points based on that donation. And I had a feeling that everyone was, at first, I thought maybe we were going into this rules is rules thing, that if it went past the buzzer, it doesn't count, but somehow they decided anything past $100 is going to count. I like to see how that's going to go. Because what if you get, at the end of the show, 5 or 6 donations of $100 or more past the buzzer? Are they all going to count towards the next week? I mean, how is that going to work? So I thought that was interesting. But anyway, everybody voted, and I didn't get a chance to vote. I was driving, but then again, let's face it, my vote probably wouldn't have counted anyway. I mean, we're talking over 218 votes, and there was a good spread in between anyway. But, so Leah got her points. Leah got her points. And at the time, I think Tommy was being extra cringy at that moment. Not about the points, but just being extra cringy on the show. And it was at that point that I had to basically do something. And I get to the hotel, get in my room. I'm not listening at the moment because I don't have the phone on in the middle of me checking in for a room at the hotel. So anyway, I get up to my room and get changed and everything, get ready to sleep. Really got personal there. But as I'm getting ready, I see everybody in the chat. I see Leah got her points. And I had to make a big decision. And the decision was real simple. It was like, listen, everybody wanted me to go ahead and go after Tommy, which is pretty common stuff right now if I go after Tommy all the time. So it probably wouldn't have meant much if I went after Tommy, but I was like, okay, we can go ahead and go do that. And it was only, I think, 500 to go ahead and kick him off. But I sat there and said, you know what? Leah's running away with this. Leah's running away with the points. And part of you sat there and said, I can't let this happen. I want a fair game. Fair game is the only way it could be. We're not going to sit here and have someone leading by 800-900 points. No way, nowhere, no how. So it's basically, as soon as she got those points, I went and took them away. I'm sorry. I like a fair game. That's the way I roll. I want things to be fair. Now, Elias, I know you may not like that, but understand I had to go into what we call the interest of fairness. And in the interest of fairness, I wanted to kind of keep everybody in that game. And it probably helped out for more donations later on in the show. So it was a benefit. Now, let's address something here to Leah. Leah says, and as Elias just told me, you wanted more fun as a blowout. I mean, yeah, but
I don't want everything always to be a blowout. I kind of want something close and interesting. But I get where you're coming from, bro. But let's just face facts here with Leah. In some of these donations, yeah, I did. I've done it a couple of times. I did it because, you know, I wanted my chosen person to win. Plain and simple. Yeah, it sucks. But, has every donation been a negative point to Leah? And the answer is no. No. There actually has been at least one time in the past where I went ahead and donated positive points to Leah. I think it was episode 139. Episode 139. This was where we wanted to block Tommy on YouTube. And Joe was looking for 100 to go ahead and block Tommy on YouTube. And I went ahead and I went for it. I said, okay, let's do it. So I put it in there. And not realizing at that point, I didn't realize we were putting points to someone. I thought it was just to go ahead and block. And I had a choice to go ahead and see who I was going to give the points to. And in the interest, again, of fairness, I said, you know what? Through the couple of weeks before where I went after Leah, I said, points to Leah. That's right. Points to Leah. So Leah can no longer say that I don't give points to her. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow night, maybe I'll give points to Leah. Maybe. Or maybe I just vote off Tommy. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'll probably run a poll on my Twitter at @highoctane_buzz. And I'll probably run a poll to see what you guys want. What do you want me to do? You want me to go after Tommy? It's too easy. Or we can maybe support someone else. Be interesting, even though the two people that I want to see going for the belt right now are already in. Ken being number one, the champion, and Joe being one of the contenders. So I kind of already got what I want. It's not like I'm going to decide every week, you know, how to do this. I think part of me feels like that people don't like the fact that I might be kind of a Vince McMahon for the belt. And in that case, that's usually why on championship nights, I kind of stay out of it. Well, let's face it, if Leah's in there for the belt, I might have to interject. There will be a Himmelgod interjection. I might have to jump in and save the belt for Ken. Elias now saying Tommy should go for the belt so we can humiliate him. You know, you bring up a really good point, Elias. Let me go ahead and say this. Here's the thing. I understand some people wanted to have Tommy in. I think Eric James is a person that votes for Tommy a lot. He likes to bestow his powers on the Tommy. And I'll tell you what, if Tommy gets in that 1 point for the belt, I think he would be humiliated. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that as a realist. If Tommy was in there, the only way that he would get the belt is if it was a troll job. It would be a troll job. It's the only way that he would get it. I feel like that if he was in for it, then he would have been destroyed. If it was him versus Leah for the belt, I think that's what would have happened. Leah would have ran away with this. We would have had our first successful title defense. Yeah. That would have happened. Of course, I prevented that with the biggest donation in JCS history, but that's a story for another day. Maybe we'll have something up with my greatest hits. Stuff I did on Monetize This, which would absolutely be just so freaking awesome. But yeah, I think he might be humiliated. I'd be honest. I mean, no offense, Tommy. I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to listen to this episode. And when you do, just understand I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just saying I think that's eventually what would happen. I think you need more than one donator to help you and to help you get that belt. And right now, you don't have enough people that would support you in a way I think that people would support a Joe or a Ken or a Leah right now, between those three, because I think it's just too big of a hill for you to overcome, even if I'm there in that match or not. If I'm just sitting back in the cheap seats with everybody else just enjoying the show. Usually, which is what I'm going to do on a lot of championship nights. I'm going to try and stay out of it. I'm not going to Vince McMahon it. I'll just Vince McMahon everybody in for the belt, And then once that belt's on the line, you all are on your own. I mean, that's just bottom line. That's kind of where I would put that. But yeah, Leah, yes, I've given you positive, knocking you. I get what you're trying to say, but I've been generous in the past, and I can guarantee that in the future, I will be generous again. Absolutely. Don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. That's just how I am. But hey, let's face it, all the donations go to the Joe Cronin Show anyway. So it's not like she's in a win-win situation with Joe anyway. So that's about that, you know. But yeah, monetize this tomorrow night. Make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna go ahead and see the first step in getting that last competitor in. And I say first step because we could be something in multiple weeks before we can figure out who's gonna be in it. But as I said, let's have some real fun with this. I'm waiting for the one day that all of us in the chat, every single one of us in the chat, hijack that belt. I'm telling you, one day, that is going to happen. We're going to hijack that belt. Mark my words. Mark my words right here, today, on the 1st of March of 2018. I'm calling it right now. One of these days, the chat will hijack that belt. It will happen. Who will it go to? Who knows? I mean, everybody's got to unify. We all got to come together as one. And if we do, we're going to see someone from that chat take the belt. Who knows? Who could it be? Could be Bobbit. Could be the Filthy Mouth Gamer. Could be me. You know? Could be D-Moon. Could be Elias. I'm sure Elias would love to get points. It could happen. That's the best part about this whole thing. It can happen. Mark my words. It will happen. The chat will hijack that belt. Yeah. The chat is going to hijack that belt. I'm telling you right now. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a shock to everyone. You might say it's never going to happen. I'm telling you right now, Elias, it's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the one that starts it. Maybe someone might be bobbing them titties right to the belt. It could happen. And we're starting to see some stages of that take place. Even if someone's getting like 100 points, it's a stage in the right direction where the chat's going to hijack that belt. It's going to happen, folks. I'm telling you right now, it is going to happen. It may not happen this year, but I think at some point, this is really going to go down. And it's not going to be a work. It's probably going to be one of the greatest things of all time. But anyway, enough about that. Monetize this tomorrow night. Make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of stuff on the weekend, Insomniac on Saturday night. A Corrupted podcast that goes ahead and follows on Joe Cronin's Patreon channel. Make sure you guys head over to Patreon. I'm a proud Patreon of Joe, Ken, as well as Justin Bailey. So, proud Patreon of all three guys, and I support them all equally. Really, really cool about what these guys do, and it helped motivate me to kind of do something like this. And as I said, look, the episodes are going to get even better than what you're watching right now for the very first episode. Very first episode always has its bumps, but that's just how it is. But I wanted to talk about something, and it's something that is pretty personal to me, out of an experience in my life. And a lot of people don't know this, but I did grow up in Florida. I'm born and raised in Florida, where I'm back right now in Florida, back in the heat of the 2 seasons a year in this state, summer and hotter summer. I had probably one of the best experiences in my life. To get an opportunity with the job I have right now to head out on the road. Now, let's face it, I've been out on the road many times before, but I've never been out on the road as long as I have just lately. And this was a long year and a half. Year and a half sitting out there on the road and doing probably one of the best jobs I've ever done. And what I basically do, I'm a QC inspector. I started out as an electrician, going through the trades. I learned a trade as an electrician. A friend of mine got me in to the union, got me the opportunity to go ahead and work as an electrician. So I had a 5-year apprenticeship, went ahead, got that done. And once I was done, it was time to hit the road. Unfortunately, my dumbass wanted to stay home. Yeah, my fucking dumbass wanted to stay home. Right? Everybody else is out there out on the road doing all their shit. And no, dumb me wanted to stay home. So I let my unemployment run out. That's the worst part that ever happened. And we're talking back in 2009 right now. In 2010, actually. Unemployment was starting to run out. And I needed to do something. Couldn't find much of jobs on the road, so I ended up taking a job at 1-800-PET-MEDS. Yeah, I was working at 1-800-PET-MEDS getting pet supplies. Over the telephone to people calling in. And I had to call up and say, thank you for calling 1-800-PET-MEDS. This is Brian. How can I help you? And I sat there doing that bullshit. Easy job, but it was such a pain in the ass. Although, you know, every once in a while you get one of those prank callers, which are absolutely fucking hilarious. And they would put their right up on the screen. It's kind of like Joe when he's sitting there doing sex calls on Monetize This. So when he's sitting there doing the fucking sex calls, and I'm pretty sure some of these women, when they have it up on their screen, says prank caller, and then Joe will probably start doing the Undertaker or Bret Hart or whatever he does. I want to see him call as Tommy one night. I don't know, he might have already done it though, but I kind of want to see him do it again. Maybe he could do it as little, you know, go ahead and do it again as little Dick Jerry. I just got a cease and desist letter. Great. I can see it right now. I'm going to see it coming from his lawyer, and I'll tell you what, JD, I'll tell you what, man. If you ever sent me a cease and desist letter based on what I'm doing right now, I tell you what, I'd wipe my ass with it. Okay? Mark my words. I would wipe my fucking ass with it. And then when I'm done with it, I'm going to shove it up your ass. And then after I shove it up your ass, I'm going to shove it up your lawyer's ass, too, so I don't give a fuck. You can go ahead and say what you want to say. I used to follow his show a long time ago. And I walked away from it because of the fact that the guy literally thinks his opinion is the only one that matters and that everybody else is just fucking wrong. Fuck JD. Fuck little Dick Jerry. Don't really care. Thank you, Nicky T. That was fucking hilarious as hell. Yeah, you blocked you too, right? Yeah. I blocked him. I benched his ass. I benched him. I didn't even give him the chance to fucking block me. I don't care if he was blocking me or not. I don't give a shit. Fuck JD. But anyway, let me figure out where I'm at right now. Well, anyway, I ended up leaving that job, got back out on the road. I was out on the road for about 6 months. Great time, went to Alabama and did that stuff. And then eventually, I started going out on the road more, working in nuclear plants and stuff like that. I can't really get too technical of what I do in the plant because that's privileged information I can't really get into. But getting to the most recent point. I did go out on the road to Wisconsin. Very big opportunity. Came up to me to go to Wisconsin. Hey, Dolphin on high, what's going on? But I got to go up there, and the job was about 1.5 years. And consider I've already been away from home for a few months in Alabama. I also went to Iowa at that time. Here we are in the middle of football season. But anyway, I'm going to Wisconsin. No idea what to expect. But I was excited as fuck. Here's the thing. I first get up there. I was at a Walmart. First place you go is a fucking Walmart. Everyone knows that a fucking Walmart is in the center of every goddamn town. Every fucking town, there's a fucking Walmart right in the middle of it. It's like they fucking own everything. Fucking ass-grabbing piece of shit. I hate fucking Walmart. But anyway. I go there, and I didn't even get out of my car yet. But before I get out of my car, I start looking around, and I'm looking at all the women. And I'm out there, and I'm looking at these women, and I'm saying to myself, what the fuck? Where the hell am I? I have no idea where the fuck I'm at. Here I am in Wisconsin, and I feel like I'm in Miami North. I'm looking at all the women going, my lord, these women are fine. They are awesome, they're sexy, they're everything. I'm looking around, I'm like, this can't be real. I gotta still be in fucking Florida. This can't be real. It was. It absolutely was. I couldn't believe it. It's like I wanted to sit there saying, praise be, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. I'm gonna get so laid up here. Which I did. But, oh my god. I get there, and I will say some of the best 1.5 years, not because of pussy, but other things that I went and did, which I want to talk about here. So Wisconsin, let's face it, Wisconsin known for three things: cheese, beer, and football. That's all there is. That's it. Cheese, beer, and football. Football, Green Bay Packers. Absolutely loved it. Went to my first Packers game in the 2016 season. Watched them play against the Seattle Seahawks that year. And they obliterated them. Absolutely freaking obliterated them. I got me, my buddy Dane. He was a big, tall guy hanging out with me. He was out of my local down in Florida. And we're sitting there in that game having the time of our lives. And what shirt am I wearing underneath my jacket? A Miami Dolphins one. Shit you not. One of the fans kind of caught on to the color. He caught on to the color, and he said, "Hey, what shirt is that underneath on your jacket?" So I unzip my jacket, show it's a Miami Dolphins shirt. And he sits there and says, "You don't have to hide it. We like you here. We like Dolphins fans." Now, of course, when they're playing the Dolphins, I'll go ahead and boo them. But they respect them. And he says, "Be a part of the family. We love you here." And at that moment, it was part of me becoming a Green Bay Packers fan. Because they made other teams feel acceptable. Now, not every team is acceptable at Lambeau. Let's just put it out there. All right? If any other team in the NFC North, you're done for. They're not gonna hate you. It's just that you're not gonna be well accepted there. Any other teams they don't accept very well, I would say, is the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots. Beyond that, I would say also the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Definitely all hated at Lambeau Field. Everybody else, they like you. You can hang out with them all day long. Hell, you could probably date their sister. All right, that's pretty much how it was over there at Lambeau Field. Dolphin fans, they were during the playoff game. I went to the playoff game against the Giants. 12 degrees outside, by the way. 12 fucking degrees. At least we have free hot chocolate, which was probably one of the best parts of the game. But we're out there, we're at the game, having a fucking good old time during the playoffs, and we're sitting there having fun. And the Dolphins game was up before the Packers game, and the Dolphins were playing the Steelers in the playoffs at the early game before the Packers were up in the late game. And you ever seen a bunch of Packers fans, diehard Packers fans, cheering on the Miami Dolphins? They were all cheering on the Miami Dolphins. Not because it was the only other game on. They could have sat there and just not gave a shit. They loved the Miami Dolphins, and they came out and admitted to it. It was like, "Oh, you guys really like the Dolphins?" We're like, "Hell yeah, we like the Dolphins." There were people in Dolphins jerseys at that game. Don't think there's any Miami Dolphins fans up there in Green Bay? There are. There are. Hell, I even found a house out there decked out in Miami Dolphins everything. In Wisconsin. In Packer country. Note that. That's fucking crazy. But I loved it. A lot of the people down here, they didn't like it too much. They didn't like it too much that when I come down and I'm in Green Bay colors, that they said they wanted to wash the Green Bay out of me. Not gonna happen. Not ever gonna fucking happen. Okay? There's no way you're gonna wash the Green Bay out of me, because there's a lot of other things besides football. I loved football. 2017 season wasn't as great as I was hoping for. Hoping the 2018 season is going to be really good, because I think Aaron Rodgers could have an MVP season in 2018. But hey, during this podcast, we're definitely going to be talking a lot of football. That's definitely going to happen, especially with the NFL draft coming up, and as we move into free agency and into the regular season, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably be talking a little bit more NBA right now, especially as we're getting closer to the playoffs and, of course, March Madness coming up. I'm a big sports nut. I love sports. Hell, right behind me, I got a nice big thing I got over here from at Lambeau Field, which is autographed by Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, which is right behind me. Really cool autographed memorabilia, and I got it all over my wall, besides all the other stuff you guys might have seen on my Twitter of the gaming shelves and all the gaming characters and statues and Funko Pops and all that stuff that I got laying around here. But yeah. But anyway, get the football part out of the mind. let's get to the beer. Beer. Alright? One thing the Himmelgod loves fucking beer. Okay? I will drink till the fucking cows come home when it comes to beer. And the one thing you notice that in Wisconsin, a lot of breweries, especially in Milwaukee. You go up there in Milwaukee, lots of fucking breweries, it's great. You got Miller up there. There was one by me in Manitowoc, which was Budweiser. They had a Budweiser brewery right there over by me, which was out towards Lake Michigan. And there's another beer that I really got into, especially towards the time when I was going to Packer games. I got into this beer a lot. My leg just went dead. But was Leinenkugel. Leinenkugel is fucking awesome. Great fucking beer. I will drink that shit so there's no fucking tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to drink that fruity stuff. Not drinking the fruity shit. I'm talking about OG, original, okay? Leinenkugel beer, which is absolutely amazing. Brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The other flavor I had was Wisconsin Red Pale Ale. Freaking awesome. Had them both at the Packers games, and of course, if I go to the store, I end up finding them in the stores, the grocery stores over there. You could find Leinenkugel just lined up and down the shelves next to your Millers and Buds, and most people skip the Millers and the Buds and they went to the craft beers because the craft beers are always sometimes a little bit better. Like they want a good IPA and stuff like that. Me, I was just grabbing the Leinenkugel, and I just have that sitting in my fridge. So when I'm listening to Monetize This, or I'm listening to Insomniac or Corrupted, Foul Mouths Live, whatever, or if I had a shitty day at work, I went right to the freaking Leinenkugel. Let me tell you, great beer. It's either that or I was drinking freaking rum and Coke. Either way, I was at least getting something. Even if I was at the game and I was getting drunk at the game. No, I didn't get drunk at any games. But Leinenkugel beer, swear by it. If you guys head out to a store and you need to get some beer, try some Leinenkugel. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. I'm not saying buy the fruity stuff, but buy, I don't want to see you buying Summer Shanty or anything. Go out there and get some OG, original Leinenkugel beer, or get the Wisconsin Red Pale Ale. Swear by both of them. They're absolutely amazing. Go buy them. Plus, there was other places that they had. It was Himmelgod or something like that. Was over by Lambeau Field. A little bit more expensive, but it was still a really good beer. And there's all sorts of places that I could go to when I was up there. And I guarantee that when I go back again, I'm hitting the brewery in Milwaukee, especially for Leinenkugel, and I'll hit Miller as well, and go check out the breweries, because you could get tours of the freaking brewery. So that would be absolutely amazing to go hit that. And at Lambeau Field, they got the Liney Shacks, basically, or the Liney Lodge. Sorry, the Liney Lodge. You go up towards up in the upper levels. They got the Liney Lodge set up, and it's absolutely amazing. You could try every single Leinenkugel beer that's there, every single one, even if you want to drink your Summer Shanty. Fuck your Summer Shanty bullshit. Not many people would order that. They're in line for the originals or the Red Pale Ale, or they have one that's sort of almost like a Guinness, which is absolutely really good. I still love a good Guinness. They had a bar, which actually was by me in South Florida, which I'll get into in a later date. It was called St. Augustine down in South Florida, where the beer is not by name, but by number. So you had to figure out which type of beer you wanted, where the lower numbers was the lighter beer, and the higher numbers was like where you're getting towards freaking Guinness. I don't mind an Irish car bomb, but let me tell you, man. You find some really good stuff up there in Wisconsin. You don't find as many drunks or stuff like that up there. You get one or two. We had one during the playoff game where he kind of tripped over everybody, and he was like 2 fucking rows above me, and this is during the playoff game, okay? He sits there and fucking slips over and fucking trips over. He's like, and freaking fell over on a bunch of people, including me. Guy didn't know how to reach a fucking step, but he could sit there and go ahead and trip over everybody. Shit. But hey, we love him. It's okay. He's a Packers fan, so it's all cool. I didn't get hurt. I just walked in with a little bit of limp next day at work when my boss has to look at me and saying, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" I'm fine. I was at the game yesterday. "Oh my God, you got hurt." No. Someone tripped 2 rows above me. That's all it was. I'm fine. I'll live. All I had to do was have a few beers after the game, and I didn't feel a thing. Wasn't saying I was drunk or anything. I'm just saying I couldn't feel a thing after that. So, add on with the cold, so it kind of worked itself out. But I want to also get into cheese. Cheese. One thing that you find a lot in Wisconsin, cheese curds. I have never had a cheese curd in my fucking life until I went up there. I had no idea what frickin' cheese curds were. And I'm thinking something like, kind of, whatever. I didn't know what a frickin' cheese curd was. I get up there, and I had cheese curds for the very first time up there. I gotta tell you, pretty freaking good. They are pretty freaking good. Absolutely amazing. It's like fried fucking cheese, but it just depends on how it was done. I think I had like a white cheddar. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. And I'd sit there and almost, but they're fattening as fuck. Let me just put it out there. They are fattening as fuck. But I'd go out there. I would go into all these different places, get like cheese curds and stuff like that if they offered it and had cheese curds. Hell, I had them at Buffalo Wild Wings, or they had Culver's up there, which is very popular in the Midwest. More popular than, say, like I was in a town where you had a Culver's and a fucking McDonald's, and everyone went to freaking Culver's, and the McDonald's would be half fucking empty. Half fucking empty. No one went to freaking McDonald's. They went to Culver's. All right. If I went in the middle of Green Bay, they had Culver's, and then they had Five Guys, and let's face it, more people went to Five Guys than probably at Culver's, but still, it was just the thought of the fact that people just wanted to go somewhere better. And when it comes to the fast food or something like that, I mean, Culver's is not that bad, but on the other side, they're not that great either. They're not Five Guys level. All right, for me, Five Guys is basically the shit. I go to Five Guys, till the fucking cows come home. That's how it is. I probably said that phrase a few times tonight. I had to have said it at least a few times tonight. If you had, maybe take a shot. But, it's, I just noticed Elias mentioning beer here for $15. Yeah. Now, my beer didn't cost that much. $15, I got 2 of them. But I would say, get back to the whole cheese curd thing. They had a few places that offered it. It was actually really good. I enjoyed them. I come back home. And all of a sudden, every place I go to is offering fucking cheese curds. Wisconsin cheese curds. I'm like, this can't be. Can't be the same thing as what it is up there. There's no way. It's fucking impossible. But I go up there, or some of these places in Florida. I got my brother calling me up, and he sits and says, "Hey, Brian, guess where I'm at?" "Where?" "Long John Silver's." "Long John fucking Silver's? Why the fuck are you there?" He goes, "Well, I don't know. I just went here one day, but guess what they're offering?" "What?" "Cheese curds. Wisconsin cheese curds." And I'm sitting there saying, No. There's no way. No way. If they have it, it probably tastes like shit. Okay? They probably just took fried cheese and put it in the freaking microwave and said, "Here you go, cheese curds." Fuck that, man. I was over at Beef O'Brady's, and they had it there. And I'll say it wasn't that bad, but on the other side, it felt like I was eating fried mozzarella. I mean, come on, guys. Do you guys know the difference between what the fuck a cheese curd is and what's not? Oh. It drove me nuts sometimes to sit there and kind of see that a fucking cheese curds. Right? Either you know what it is, or you fucking don't. Hey, there's Dolphin on High again. So I get all the updates on Twitter, by the way, that are sitting here on my phone that picks up Dolphin on High. He's hanging out. So look at that, man. You've been getting shout outs, and you're probably not even here on this live part of the show tonight, Dolphin. He'll end up watching it on YouTube the next day. By the way, this episode is getting uploaded to YouTube when it's over. So you guys can go check it out. I think there is another podcast, going on tonight. I think it's Killing It. I think he's got a podcast tonight. So I think Foulmouth Ken might have been on earlier, but anyway, yeah. So every place I know all of a sudden is offering fucking cheese curds. Let me tell you something, okay? In Wisconsin, they know how to do cheese curds right. Everywhere else, they can't do it for shit. All right, fried cheese. Okay, that you probably got on string cheese and fucking fried. That ain't cheese curds, guys. Come on, get that shit right. Get that shit right. It's like something in the Midwest that they can only get right. And in Wisconsin, when it comes to cheese, they know how to do it. And probably when it comes to a lot of people getting fat, they probably know how to do that too. only in Wisconsin, or only in the Midwest, or maybe that's just Chicago. It's like, one of those places. Not that I'm sitting here ripping on all these people for fat people. Let's face it, America's got quite a few of them, and there's no way to, what can I say? But being up there for a year and a half was it was an amazing experience. It was a lot of fun, and I will definitely never forget it. I'll get the opportunity to go back there in the fall, and I guarantee when I go back up there in the fall, I'll be there for football and catch a game, which I think will be, there goes my dog. He's going to go crazy, I think. I'm looking at him right now. If you guys have seen him, he's over there on my Twitter page. You guys catch me take pictures with my dog, because he always goes into unique poses. Sometimes, whether he's got his feet up or he's all up on me. But he's hanging out, so that's cool. Hey Bruno, you looking for something? Oh, lights are on, that's why. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, one of the things I want to get to is in the fall. Because some of my family members said this to me, where they sat there and they said, we're going to wash the Green Bay out of you. Wait till I show up in a party with Kugel beer. I've already showed up at my brother's house in a Green Bay jersey. You're not going to get it out of me. And by the way, in the fall, Green Bay plays Miami at Lambeau Field. You want to talk about a great experience that's going to be? And my friends, some of my friends up there in Wisconsin who I've met through the IBEW local that I met up there, wait till this fall when I go there. Where they got Miami playing Green Bay. I don't know what day it's going to be because they haven't released the schedule yet, but I will announce it when I find out. And if it's there while I'm working, the big question everyone else is going to have on their mind, from those in Green Bay and those of us down here in South Florida, what jersey are you going to wear? Let's find out what kind of fan you are, right? So am I going to walk in? I think I'm going to walk in a half and half. We're going to get one of those custom half and halves, so that way I could be absolutely fucking neutral. Because that's the way I see it going. I'm going to be 100% fucking neutral. There's no way, no fucking way, I could probably show up there with one jersey representing one team. Now I can always show it there in a jersey and a hat and just do that. I could probably get away with that. But, and then cheer for both teams. Either way, I'm in a win-win. But I'm pretty sure they'll be looking to see what I'm wearing that day. Because, let's just face it, folks, I am a lifelong Miami Dolphins fan that will never fucking go away. Will never go away. That's for life. Green Bay, for me, has been more of the last 2 seasons, but yet I've grown into that culture, into that Green Bay culture, and that's the reason why you see a lot more Green Bay Packers, especially lately. But it's not like I didn't have anything Miami Dolphins when I was up there either. Even at a lot of the bars I went to, they did show the Miami game for me so I could go sit and watch it. So it's not like I'm not a Dolphins fan. I am a Dolphins fan, but I'm also a Green Bay fan. You guys got to get... Some of you guys are going to have to get over that fact. Get over it. I say that to my brother. Get over it. Just deal with it. It's the only way it's going to be. That's the way I'm going to deal with it. That's the way that it's going to go from this moment forward. It's going to be very interesting, though. We'll see that during football season, and how many times, if I'm down here during that time, that if I show up in a certain jersey and see what people say at that point, where they say, "Oh, look, oh, okay, you're a Green Bay Packers fan now." No. That's not how it is. I'm both. I'm both. But that's kind of the way it goes. But that's the interesting point. And for all those people that sit there and think that I think otherwise, that's just how it is. So. But it's pretty much a lot of things I enjoyed up in Wisconsin and really fucking enjoyed, and I had a great time with it. And we're gonna get ready to wrap up this episode here in just a couple of minutes. And I want to sit here and I want to thank everybody for being a part of the show. It is only the first episode, and of course, of many more episodes to come. Next week, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about next week, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. By the way, did you guys catch the latest trailer for Wreck-It Ralph? Anyone catch that latest trailer for Wreck-It Ralph? Because I thought it was pretty interesting. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Kind of caught the trailer for that next movie, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Because I'm getting ready to close out here the show, and I want to go ahead and talk about it real quick. But Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph breaks the internet here, and let me just say, I'm a big fan of the first movie. Big fan of the first movie. I loved it. A lot of us really liked the first movie because of all the video game references that took place during it. But because a lot of stuff that I grew up on was a part of that. And yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And then seeing this trailer, I was kind of getting a little bit of mixed emotion from this, where it's like, oh, cool, it's Wreck-It Ralph. But I felt like it was a movie, first off, Wreck-It Ralph could have stood on its own. But then we come in this trailer for the second movie about breaking the internet. And I feel like that they're going to go away from the video game related stuff of the first movie and kind of focus in on the whole internet thing. And that we've seen in the trailer a lot of internet memes, like the pop-up ads or eBay or the little kids games that we saw. We kind of got part of like, oh, games. So you knew, you kind of thought he was going to go to a video game thing, but all it was a kid playing on an iPad with the kitty and the bunny rabbit, which, by the way, I thought was absolutely hilarious. I felt like the trailer started slow and it kind of just picked up towards the end, where it was like really funny with the freaking pancakes, and you're just looking at that poor bunny rabbit. He's like, no. And it's like he didn't even want any more of those pancakes, and watching it pop, and the baby starts crying, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But I'm a little worried about this movie. Part of it's because I enjoyed the first movie so much. I really got into it, and especially with the video game stuff, and now I feel like this movie is going to get away from it, and I'm a little worried. A little bit worried. But honestly, I believe that it's probably going to be an alright movie. I'm not going to say it's going to be terrible, but I think I need to see a little bit more before I judge a movie like this, because I felt like the first movie could stand on its own merit, and that we really didn't need a sequel. But if it does happen, now that it's going to happen, I'm saying if, but now it does happen, I'm a little bit worried. But it comes out on Thanksgiving, so we got a little bit of time, maybe to at least see another trailer to get me a little bit more interested. And don't get me wrong, some of the stuff I saw I thought was pretty funny as the teaser was ramping up. But hopefully we get to see a little bit more. Don't spoil too much of the movie, but I'm really interested to see how this goes. But then again, I don't want it to be a whole bunch of internet memes. I'm hoping for something really good, or something really incredible, which is something Elias just talked about right now, preferring the Incredibles, which I'm looking forward to the sequel, which is coming up pretty darn soon, to see the sequel to the Incredibles. So looking forward to that. But that's going to do it here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. I'm going to continue the gameplay in a little bit. I know I haven't done anything with any gameplay right now, as it's just sitting there on a screen ready to go. Definitely going to be squatting up and getting ready for some Fortnite. So I'm going to have that going on live here on Twitch. We're going to keep going and play Fortnite for the rest of the night. For those of you guys on YouTube, that's pretty much where I'm going to be cutting off the episode. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the first one. Hopefully you guys got a couple of laughs and had a little fun. Let me tell you what, the episodes are going to get better from here after we kind of look back on things, see where I can go ahead and improve on. If you guys have any topics that you guys want to talk about in a future episode, let it know and be known in the comments. Let me know here in the chat tonight. We got a couple people hanging out in the chat right now. I didn't expect a huge audience on the first night, but we know that there's other things going on. But as I said, all the other episodes are going to be recorded, so you make sure you guys get your questions in on Twitter at @highoctane_buzz. Make sure you guys throw me some topics you guys want to hear about. You want to hear me talk about, or something we can get into a little bit more of a Q&A kind of thing. Is there going to be other live episodes of the show? Absolutely. It's just not something that's going to happen every week. It's something that's going to happen, every once in a while. Maybe when we get to episode 10, we'll do another live episode. That would be pretty cool. So we'll kind of pick like the anniversary episodes, like a 10 or a 25, a 50, 100, eventually when we get to 100 and stuff like that. Hey, this is only the first step in a long fucking journey here, I don't want to get too high in just one fucking episode right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button there if you guys are on YouTube. For those of you guys on Twitch, go ahead and hit the follow button. Greatly appreciate it. I will be putting stuff in the videos. If I do see people that have hit that follow button or have subscribed on YouTube, I'm going to make sure I mention you guys
in the videos, so you guys will be able to see. It's like, oh, dude, he knows that we followed. You know, it's not like I can go ahead and check it right now. I want to thank Elias. Elias, thank you for hanging out here on the first episode with me. I greatly appreciate that. He's been very vocal in the chat. Hopefully, if you guys, when you're listening to this, maybe tomorrow night I'll monetize this. Hey, throw some points the Himmelgod's way. Be very interesting. As I said, Chad is taking that belt at some point very, very soon. We're going to hijack that belt. I'm telling you right now. We're hijacking the belt. It's going to happen. I'm telling you. Definitely going to fucking happen. But anyway, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at highoctane_buzz. Of course, also you can find me on Xbox as well, which is the same name, highoctane space buzz, although I might change it to the Himmelgod. I'll let you guys know if I make any changes on that. PlayStation is highoctane_buzz. We will have some PlayStation gameplay coming up in a couple of weeks on some of these episodes. I did get like Shadow of the Colossus. That'd be really cool to do Shadow of the Colossus. Well, I've already recorded the episode, and then you're watching on a screen Shadow of the Colossus start playing. So I thought that would be really cool one of these weeks. That would be pretty fucking awesome. I can tell you that right now because it's such a great game they did on the remaster. Really looking forward to working on that. Really enjoyed doing all this stuff here with you guys. Make sure also you're following Joe Cronin at the Joe Cronin Show here on YouTube. Make sure you guys are following Ken right now. He's got a temporary channel right now on YouTube, FMN Nation. It's 2 words, FMN Nation. Make sure you guys check that out. And of course, make sure you're checking out Justin Bailey at jbshow.net. jbshow.net. Sign up over there. You get JB Radio, which is actually freaking great. I love listening to a lot of the episodes. I listen to a lot of them when I'm in the car driving or I'm over at the gym. So I have a great time listening to those episodes instead of listening to songs all the time. It's always something great to pick up, and some of the episodes that he's been doing, and we'll definitely get more into that. And I will throw all the links to these guys in the description below to make sure you guys check it out, especially for those of you guys watching on YouTube. I am the one and only Himmelgod. Thank you guys for joining me for episode 1. See you guys next week on episode 2. The gameplay is going to continue in just a moment here on Twitch as we go ahead and continue on with some more Fortnite. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you all later. Okay, so now that the episode is over, we're going to